Okay, this is important attention, Africa. You see, yesterday, one of the biggest markets in West Africa was shut down. One of the biggest markets in West Africa. Someone from Nigeria sent me a message and saying, "Thank Roya, you are the voice of Africa. Are you aware that one of the most biggest markets in West Africa was shut down? That market is situated in Nigeria, in the southeastern part of Nigeria. The government shut down the market for a good 1 week." Now you'll be asking, why would the government shut down a market this as large as being considered to be one of the largest markets in West Africa be shut down for 1 week? Here is it. You see, the African proverb said something. He said, when a child is not listened to, the child will use the drum to be heard. Pay attention. You see, let us be truthful without sentiment or fear. The government shut down the market because traders refused to open on Mondays. Now you will ask, why will a trader refuse to open on Monday? Why? Monday is the first day of economic activity. Why will you decide to shut down on Monday? Now let me explain. For those who are not in Nigeria, from other part of Africa, let me elucidate so you can understand the context. You see, traders not opening on Monday, okay, it's not in their doing. It is an obedience to what they call sit at home. That is a day dedicated to one of their leaders whom they believe to be a political prisoner of conscience. So that sit at home is a form of protest saying, release one of our own. Okay, that is it. Now listen very attentively. My opinion in this. You see, there is something that African history has taught us over time in this situation. African history over time has calculated and let us understood that understanding a reason is not the same as endorsing the method. Understanding a reason is not the same as endorsing a method. Pay attention. You see, when traders shut down market, do you know what it means? African history taught us that you don't answer political symbolism using collective economic punishment. I'm coming. Listen. Across Africa, we have seen where governments forced political motivated economic shutdown. The wise have learned from it. What has the wise learned from it? What I just said to you. You do not answer political symbolism using economic punishment. That sit-at-home protest that these people observe is a what? It is a political symbolism. You don't answer it with a collective economic punishment. No, you don't. Because when traders shut down market, it is a political expression. It is a message, not a war. Because across Africa, we have seen it before. Let me teach you. You see, during the apartheid regime in South Africa, there were trade boycotts. The apartheid government, as cruel as it was, did not approach it with force. What did they do? They simply negotiated with the market unions. In Sudan, there were trade strikes. The government did not approach them with force. What did the government do? The government simply engaged them in a dialogue. Even during colonial oppressive regimes in Africa, colonial governments, as oppressive as it was, the government did not shut down markets permanently like the government did in Nigeria for 1 week. What did the government do? They allowed them and negotiated with them. Why? Because you have to understand that marketplaces are places where legitimacy lives. Now, if your intention was to erase the protest with what happened yesterday in Nigeria, you have seen that you ended up erupting the protest. You have given a life to what was dying off. From my research, it was dying off. But you have resurrected it. You have given them a reason to endorse the sit-at-home more. That is not how a state normalizes authority. No, this is how a state loses narrative control. What the state could have done is this. Pay attention. The state should have engaged market unions without using force. Secondly, the state should have addressed the political grievances separately from economic lifeline. Thirdly, the state should have acknowledged the fear and not criminalize it. What do I mean by that? The traders, from the research I made, stated that not that they don't want to open on Mondays, but because they are scared of their lives. They are scared that they're coming out on Monday, they will not be protected. So the state should have acknowledged that fear and not criminalize it. The state should have secured the streets and the market and allow confidence and not compulsion to reopen the market. You have to understand that African history has taught us something. You do not govern a protest away. No, it doesn't work. You don't govern a protest away. Rather, you govern through the protest. You have to understand that you don't answer political symbolism with collective economic punishment, because that protest is born out of ideology, and you don't shut down ideology with force. When you do that, you normalize that ideology. You don't erase protest like that. When you approach it with force, you normalize it. Take it as a word that you don't answer political symbolism with economic collective punishment. Take this message to that governor in that part of Nigeria. Let him understand that he's doing himself more harm than good. I love you and I care about you. And it is my wish and prayer that that market that is considered as one of the largest markets in West Africa be opened so that life will continue. I love you and I care about you, Africa. Wisdom. The principal thing.
Learn to be a teacher and not just a content creator. Just for 14 days with Modern Day Town Creator.